Autoline Daily is brought to you by Bridgestone, passion for excellence.
Here are today's top headlines. Congress pressures GM and Chrysler not to close so many dealers. MAGNA may not have Opel yet, and Toyota readies its plug-in hybrid. Up next, we'll be back with the news behind the headlines. This is Autoline Daily for Thursday, June 4, 2009, and now the news. General Motors CEO Fritz Henderson and Chrysler Vice Chairman Jim Press testified in the U.S. Congress, defending their decision to collectively close 3,400 car dealerships. Senators are upset that the automakers are closing so many stores that represent the tax base for so many communities, not to mention that car dealers typically make campaign contributions to local politicians. While the Obama administration says it does not want to run the automakers, the Wall Street Journal says Congress wants to take more control of the auto industry rescue. And along those lines, the Detroit Free Press reports that Senate Republicans say the automotive bailout is unconstitutional. They've introduced a bill that would require Congress's approval of any bailout money, and they're trying to make this an amendment to a tobacco regulation bill, but the Freep reports its chances are uncertain. Yesterday, we reported General Motors hinted at the possibility it would not disclose financial information while it's in bankruptcy. But then the company released a statement yesterday saying it will provide regular financial updates while it's a private company. MAGNA says it believes it will have its Opel deal finalized by September. However, according to Reuters, the German government is still accepting bids for Opel. This leaves the door open for Fiat and Chinese company Beijing Automotive Industry Corporation to improve their bids. Meanwhile, another potential headache looms for MAGNA. According to the AFP, Volkswagen says MAGNA would face a conflict of interest if it partners with Opel because it's a major supplier to VW and its brands. U.S. senators have been scrambling to pass CASH-FOR-CLUNKERS legislation, but their efforts hit a roadblock, at least for now. The Detroit News reports that supporters of the bill attempted to add it to a piece of tobacco legislation. That effort ran out of gas when the Appropriations Committee objected to the funding of the program from the $787 billion economic stimulus package. Other countries have enacted similar measures with great success. Reuters reports that new car sales in Germany increased 40% last month, thanks to a €2,500 or about $3,300 incentive. However, some analysts predict that the program is only pulling sales forward and that they'll collapse next year when it expires. Toyota will start leasing plug-in electric hybrids by the end of this year. 200 will be offered in Japan and 150 each in the US and Europe. It's a Prius with lithium-ion batteries that can be recharged by any household electrical outlet. They'll also feature a gasoline engine to recharge the batteries. And speaking of the Prius, Reuters reports it was the best-selling car in Japan last month. It unseated the Honda Insight as the country's top seller. The Insight took the sales crown in April, which marks the first time ever that a hybrid was the #1 seller in Japan. Coming up next, a preview of a one-on-one interview we did with Bob Lutz. We'll be back right after this.
Changing tires out here could be dangerous, but with these tires, I don't need to worry.
Bridgestone.
I was out of town earlier this week, but my Autoline After Hours co-host Peter DeLorenzo had a chance to sit down with a few GM execs at the company's Design Dome at its tech center in Warren, Michigan. Here's what Bob Lutz had to say about what he thinks maybe should have happened with the Pontiac brand.
Well, it depends who's in charge.
Yeah.
If it were me, I would be seriously tempted to bring Pontiac back as a niche brand, do very few of them, and it could be Pontiac by GMC or something like that, to where you could do one model. You'd never establish another franchise. But again, that's me with my personal fondness for Pontiac and where we've taken Pontiac in the last couple of years with cars like the Pontiac G8, Solstice and the Solstice Coupe.
Yeah.
I mean, I think those three vehicles in and of themselves would form the essence of a niche brand. But you know what? We just can't do that. And this is where my heart would say do it, and cooler heads would say, look, Bob, we're out of Pontiac.
Yeah, I know.
Let it go.
I'm one of those Pontiac people, but that's okay.
Same here. So I suggest you buy a Pontiac GXP Coupe just like I'm going to do, because you better get one before they're all gone.
When GM invited us out to its tech center, we also interviewed a couple of other executives, including Ed Welburn, the company's chief designer, and Tom Stevens, who is now going to run product development. Plus, you can check out the rest of Peter's chat with Bob Lutz, as well as those other interviews, on our website a little bit later. And that's it for today's top news in the global automotive industry, but don't forget to check out Autoline After Hours starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Time tonight. It's the most candid discussion going around about the auto industry. Like I said, the show starts at 7 p.m., but swing by our website a little early because the cameras start rolling a little bit before that. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you tonight.
Visit our website for even more great content all week long. Autoline Extra, Dawn's Journal, podcasts, and even more. So click over and get the inside view at AutolineDetroit.tv.